You. God forbid. I'm like y'all's biggest fucking fanboy.
Holy shit, that's a lot of bullets.
Where should we set up for
Ooh.
today? Ooh, wait, actually, no. I want to go to my favorite pond. I know where I want to go. I know
The
where I
fuck
want
are
to go.
we dealing with an angel? And the
God
river
save
this
me.
big in Elden Ring.
About what?
God save me.
What's
Actually,
going
God
on?
isn't here.
Oh, the skateboarding chick. You can
I'm ready
see
for the
her
daddy
menus
here.
and stuff a lot easier if you go in first person.
Fuck you, yo, cunt. I will. We don't mind to my sounds of fear. I am casually being gunned down from the distance.
No, continue. Entertaining.
There's a miniature Captain America chasing my ass. And he's got a fucking. Nah, it's actually no.
Do
It's more
y'all
like a
stop
moose.
fucking in the chat?
There's another one. Why
What if I want to fuck in the chat?
Please!
I answered to Captain America, so fucking grenade launchers. Oh, that's not a good noise. Oh, hey, Grayson. I don't think you're gonna want to be here, buddy. I can make a hard light bridge.
Like from Portal?
Yes. Yeah, actually. I could make one.
Water bottle.
If I
Oh,
am
water bear. I thought you were saying
Waterburger.
water bottle. Silly.
Waterburger. Waterburger.
Oh wait, my sentries are gonna try to
Hold on. Come to the pond. The big lake.
Uh-oh. I'm being raided. Fuck. Get the fuck out of my house. The power of lasers
Oh.
compels you to fuck
Oh.
off my lawn.
I'll stand up a little spot. I do my best to be so. Do, what's wrong? Ha ha. I look so beautiful, cause I wow. Ha ha. What do we beautiful do? So you can enjoy it too. Oh,
Get off my lawn, bitches.
Were you trying to free cam? I see.
Bitch. Off my lawn.
But your lawn is so nice.
Well, they don't think so. They're dead now. They're dead because they didn't stay off my lawn. Oh, hello, Carson. I will take a bottle of Gusto Ghoul. Whatever the fuck it really is.
I'll make sure you put down your buckets.
Woo. Oh, hello, my bees. I have bees. You can actually see the inside of their hive, too. They're just there. They buzzing around. Buzz. Exchange gear.
No, mine. Mine. Fuck you.
What? I Ooh, I forgot. Fuck. Yeah.
The remake.
Oh, and fuck,
It's
I
the
need arcane-
remix.
I need arcane scrap. What is this game you playing?
Web fishing?
Animal Crossing.
No.
It looks like Animal Crossing.
No. No, this is not. No. Not even close.
Said it looks nothing to do.
Answer. Which in your server? No, not really.
Why? Heavy.
Just come on me. Fuck this. Taste this amazing.
Okay, weapons.
You got a gummy bear.
Ooh,
Gummy bear.
I can upgrade.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Mm-hmm. Fair enough. I got a fucking mimic, but it'll never beat my son, Jeremy.
Why? Oh, hey, human skulls.
Oh, yeah, also, Chili, did you see on my model the new Christmas hat? No, Jeremy. Jeremy. My son. Hold on, let me show you my son. Let me show you my son. Where is he? Where is he? Where is my son? Ignore that I have so many. H. You're welcome. This one. This is my son. His name is Jeremy. If you actually look at his like item description, his name is Jeremy because I renamed him. Yes, he's my boy. Are you drawing while you're playing?
Whoopsies.
You silly.
It's fine. I haven't said anything important.
I need a second opinion. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cuckoo? That's what we're doing?
Second opinion of what?
Oh shit, why is everything done?
Cuckoo.
Mm-hmm.
What's the second opinion of what?
Looking Twitch chat.
Ah. You know,
Uh-huh.
I talked to Ravo of the idea of possibly this character having a towel. Anyway, I'll leave it at that.
Uh-huh.
Ooh. Shiny.
Eat it.
Mugnade.
Excuse me.
Big yawn.
Mm-hmm.
If you're hungry, go fucking eat something, Raven.
You'll draw better if you eat. This is scientifically proven.
Lies.
Especially
I
if
feel
you
better
notice that you're hungry.
Lies. I draw better when I know I'm hungry and I'm pissed.
You're the one with fucking old man yaoi porn as your fucking profile picture.
No, it's not Yaoi. It's just Emmerich.
You think of old man
No,
Yowie,
it's
though.
Yaoi.
No,
You
it's
like
not
him for his
Yaoi.
It's
old
Yowie.
man Yowie.
It's
It can't.
Yaoi.
It can't
It's
be
Yaoi.
Yaoi if I can't play the game.
Yes, it can.
No
I
idea.
don't.
Look at Five Nights at Freddy's.
It's yaoi in
What?
your brain.
It's Yaoi in your brain.
It's Yowie in your brain, and that's all that matters.
Hold on, I'll get back. Give me a second.
What's that have to do with Five Nights at Freddy's?
There's
Yeah,
so
that
much.
point I'm a little.
There's so much Yowie in FNAF.
You know what? True.
It is fair. Especially since most people are like, Glamrock Freddy? No, that is a gay man.
That is a gay
That
man.
is a
Gay
homosexual.
man and his son.
100% gay man.
Yes.
Oh, Spear.
Yeah.
Throw this at someone's fucking face.
Being excellent brain.
Crap shot. Load pistol.
Oh, excuse me.
Yo, that's the excuse.
Welcome back.
Gay.
The bike by the daba.
No Quebec. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Daba the daba the daba. Apatakata.
Okay. I'm gonna eat this time for shotgun. In
Oh, yeah, I
riot
forgot about
shield.
this one that I added.
Munitions. It is time to go berserk.
Yes.
Riot shield. Combat knife. Combat knife. Yeah,
What
there we go.
fucking button was it?
Are we talking? Are we talking like the NPC in Cult of the Lamb? Oh, they
Hey.
do
That's
kind of
kinda
talk
how
like
they
that.
I like the ones at the lighthouse.
The axolotls?
No, just the noises they make. I don't know why it triggers my brain to be silly.
Yeah, I forgot that I added the mod that lets you just toggle the blush whenever you want.
Angel, God damn it.
That. Yeah. These potted plants serve no purpose. They creepy.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah.
Mine.
Okay. Bam. Bam. Bumper shotgun.
Oh wait, more ideas. Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Game.
I don't know why my brain is so fixated on my tits today, but holy shit, these suckers feel heavy today.
Like a quarter of your body.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that what I said?
I would be very surprised if my tits totaled to 50 pounds.
Poor back.
I would only be mildly surprised.
Mildly.
Hmm.
I wanna see my sunlit language.
I know what I want to draw.
Yeah.
That little jester girl, not Pomni.
That doesn't narrow it down.
The pandas.
What's a noise? What's a cry?
Oh,
God dang it, I'm
you
coming
know,
this
I
way.
realize I kind. So, Jace, you remember when I showed you the kind of nest that I do with like the long cat plushie that I have?
Mm-hmm.
So I have that, and then I have the water bear plush, like tucked between like me and the long cat plush, and I'm realizing I'm kind of kangaroo mama-ing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my baby boy. I should make it
Bonk,
at icon, right? Here we go.
bloink, boink, bonk. Oh shit.
Mm.
Come on, me.
I haven't noticed anything stranger in a
Hey, erasers. Oh,
while. Game.
Repeat offenders. Repeat offenders. It's not helping.
there we go.
Okay. Yeah, think about it. It's you know.
Nothing's capturing.
Ugh.
Oh shoot.
I forgot about my Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Peppy!
Yeah.
What did you forget about the Dr. Pepper?
Oh, that's all I love.
What did Dr. Pepper do to you?
If I look it up, does my history remember her document? Yay!
Hmm?
The character I'm drawing doesn't have a proper reference sheet. There's only a Google Doc. So pray for me.
You got this, Spooky.
Yay.
So you want to know what has been on my brain today because I was scrolling Tumblr earlier.
What you find?
Cute core, but like specifically how like originally it was not meant to just be like sanitized kawaii Western kawaii aesthetic with just pink and bows everywhere, and how it was originally called cute gore. Like that's just on my brain.
It's an MP4. What do you mean I can't watch it?
Okay, words becoming our ambassador.
I
Should
didn't.
be inspiration.
Cute, cool. Sorry, I was trying to watch a video or like something small when you were explaining that. I remember you saying cute core was originally cute core, like a different thing.
Mm-hmm. Like nowadays, people think when hearing cute core, thinks like the TikTok primarily distinction, where it's now like a sanitized, westernized kawaii aesthetic with like the same like visual elements of like the original Tumblr oriented cute gore with like strawberries and pastel colors and stickers and bows, but like excluding the darker gory aspects. Like take a picture of a girl's room where she has an entirely pink setup and like anime figures and like My Melody and My Sweet Piano merch everywhere, and then inexplicably she's playing Silent Hill 2.
Yes.
That was the original cute core style. It was a juxtaposition of like the darker visuals of one's interests with the cuteness that they surround themselves with.
Second opinion on toes.
Also fishing now.
What'd you say, Malachi?
I'm fishing.
In your game?
Yeah.
Ah.
I need the oil from this specific fish.
Second opinion on toes and Tracy Chow. What if?
What?
I like how you and I are both wearing the yellow rain boots right now, Chili.
You're cute.
They are.
What if it starts raining? Did you want opinions or did you just want to share those, Cuckoo?
Opinions.
I
I didn't try it. I'd like to clarify that. I didn't try it. I stole off Pinterest. But what if feet?
like what if you had those?
Yes.
I like them.
I think it'd go kind of hard,
Yeah.
Good
including the
Yeah.
star.
Hell yeah.
Hi, Judas! I don't
Speaking of
remember
which,
Judas
there's
having a
something that I-
pipe bomb in the Bible.
Those are the stupidest things you said all night, bud.
It'll get dumber.
Whoa. How fun.
That's a little talent of mine. The other night I asked if I should drink a Capri Sun that was over a year expired.
Oh.
You're an idiot.
I know, I didn't drink it.
Oh. Good.
What happened was I asked for opinions and everyone said no. So I was like, ah, okay.
Cool. What if?
Yes.
I lost where Bernadette was. There she is. Okay. Right half of
Another thing about like cute core stuff that a lot of people forget is it was also originally a music thing. You know,
What kind
cute
of-
but hardcore.
What kind of music?
So it was like a very niche subcategory of the hardcore scene in the early 2010s. You know, cute but hardcore. It was like, you know, the aggressive vocals and like general production style of 2010s hardcore, but with like kawaii lyrics and like Japanese sound bites thrown in. It was like Monstar from Inaria. So it was like, you know, violent lyrics but with like feminine vocals and like references to Harajuku fashion and like anime sound bites like interspersed in. And that musical thing predates the like aesthetics visual like expression. So like the term like kawaii core as opposed to cute core had already been used to describe, oh look, it's raining. Anyway, it had already been used to describe like kawaii metal, like baby metal. And that exemplified like the early use of like the term kawaii in conjunction with like aggressive musical styles. You know, the concept of like cuteness aggression. And, you know, similar to kawaii metal, the early musical origins of cute core also involved this like juxtaposition of like cute and aggressive elements. But the aesthetic as it's currently known was popularized by Tumblr, obviously. You know, I believe it was like a very specific Tumblr user that would constantly post their like bedroom with like how like cute and like pink everything was, you know, Sanrio items and beds and like a Hello Kitty like bed sheet that was like edited to have like bloody handprints all over it, and they would like play Silent Hill. You know, it was like a thing of like East Asian cute aesthetic influences kawaii with dark horror elements. And that piqued a lot of the interest of people who were like really interested in kawaii fashion. Which, you know, in like 2020, that was like the huge like alternative fashion experimentation boom on like TikTok and stuff. So it often centers like, again, this like feminine, soft, like visual style with like these surprisingly dark and horrific elements. So people will then relate that, and it'll become intersectional with things like trauma core. You know, themes of like corrupted childhood and like manipulating media aimed at children and preteens, similar to trauma core again, but incorporating kawaii, quote unquote, characters and motifs juxtaposed with elements of like horror, like blood splatters and injuries and ominous shadowy figures and eyes. And it has a lot of similarities with like Joji Fuku and like Heisei Retro. Heisei Retro is the one like visual style that's like a nostalgia type aesthetic for like 1989 to 2019, being a child in those eras, in those years. That's like that Heisei Retro. But in addition, like the aesthetic and like the culture surrounding cute core juxtaposes kawaii imagery with like not only horror specifically, but also with like chronically online culture, specifically from like 2chan users, which are like, you know, stereotypically attracting NEETs, otakus, and weebs, and people with poor mental health. So it's like, you know, cluttered anime visuals and like messy rooms Like, you know that meme that's like, a really cute, like, anime girl or, like, you know, drawn character in a photo of, like, a messy-ass room that inexplicably also has, like, really cute decorations, but there's, like, clothes and, like, trash everywhere, and they're just standing there, like, take a seat wherever! That is a big, like, cute core thing. And it's a very, like, openly, like, mentally ill kind of community.
Look at your DMs.
Huh?
You were describing that, and it reminded me of art I made a while ago when I was going through it.
Yeah.
Which is a lot like what you just explained.
Yeah. That's about it, yeah. The fact that the Miku poster you put in the back there is the one that I have on my wall.
It's also the one that I have on my wall. Did you also get yours at Five Below? I forget.
No, I ordered mine online.
Gotcha.
When did Cute Core start? Again, the musical aspect of it started in the early 2010s, but the visual, and particularly online aspect of it really started around, like, 2019 to, like, 2020-ish. Really rocketed by 2021. But it's, like, you know, and a lot of the, like, Kawaii Core focused, like, especially Tumblr accounts, will post, like, about their mental state, and they'll be, like, posting, like, things about how they're, like, spiraling and all of that shit, but it'll be juxtaposed with, like, Calmoji and, like, hi typing styles and, like, you know, little star emojis all over the place and stuff. So, like, you know, kawaii, cute character motifs, Sanrio, blood splatters, glitchy and, like, pixelated visuals, yandere, trauma core aesthetics, dark shadowy figures, but, like, Calmoji and pixel art and cake and dango and, like, pudding and, like, you know, strawberries and strawberry milk and, like, ice cream and lollipops, but also, like, you know, inexplicably they're playing Silent Hill 2 for the 7th time. And, like, another thing that's really common is, like, wall-to-wall decoration on, like, shelves and stacked in corners and plushies and fluffy rugs and, like, cute decorated backpacks and, like, furniture and walls in, like, pastel colors. But also, like, they haven't taken out the trash in, like, 3 weeks type look. And then it also kind of, it's not as prevalent of a thing, but, like, there is a kind of fashion community with it. So it'll be, like, you know, layered skirts and, like, leg warmers over, like, tights and platform boots and demonias and band and horror movie t-shirts and very, like, doll-like makeup with, like, thick eyeliner and circled lenses, very over-contoured noses, very very blushed cheeks, like, face masks and, like, bangs that almost cover the eyes. And a lot of it, and that is a very criticized community as well. It's got a lot of controversy around it. There was this, like, you guys remember in, like, 2021 when TikTok, like, became convinced for something that, like, the term kawaii was a slur?
That's... no.
Yeah, no, that was the thing, like, perpetuated by, like, 4chaners and stuff, but, like, they were like, you're whitewashing kawaii! Like, it was a misunderstanding of, like, Cute Core as a Western replacement for kawaii, despite its origins as, like, a juxtaposition of, like, kawaii with, like, darker horror-influenced elements. And the only reason that it was called Cute Core instead of Cute Gore was that the gore terminology was, like, you know, grounds for shadow ban on a lot of social media. But, like, some people are like, it's appropriating a lot of, like, Japanese fashion styles, like, you know, Decora, Jojifuku, and, like, Gurukawa, and stuff like that. And, like, you're removing their cultural context and origins, but it's, like, it's a whole different thing. And it's also received a lot of criticism for its like association with like potentially harmful content. But like that's like, you know, glorification of like violence and glorification of self-harm and like, you know, generally toxic behavior like harassment and stuff. But it's like the problem is that a lot of people misinterpret it as being intentionally like bait for younger people, being like, it's so cute, obviously little kids are gonna get into it. It's like, no, this is very much so an 18 plus community. Like, yes, there's like pink and cute stuff and Sario characters and stuff, but like, notice the red bloody hand prints on the door.
It's also just generally like, even with like all of the pink aspects, there is like a aura, I don't want to say aura, but like a sense of gloom in a lot of them that I think would like detract kids from that. Not
Exactly.
all kids, obviously. Like I feel like we can't. At this
Oh
point,
yeah,
we
no, I
can't
would have
say
eaten
that.
this shit up like fucking catnip like when I was 12. But
you
like
know,
that's because I was going through shit.
it wouldn't be that many kids.
Yeah.
Also, just learn how to make. I don't know. Stop letting
Yeah.
kids be on the internet.
And it's like, you know, it's, and a lot of people are like, oh my god, it's so consumerist. Like, there is so much, like, you look at all these pictures, it's like wall-to-wall decorations and stuff, and it's like, you know, you can DIY posters, right? Like, you know that's the thing you could do, right? Exactly, Kappa. Stop letting iPads be your babysitter.
There, well, that's something.
I feel like the mantra should not exclusively be get kids off of the internet, but I think that we've needed a return to form with having spaces purely for children again. Original Pop Tropica, Club Penguin, fucking Pixie Hollow, shit like that. I feel like we need a return to form
Listen,
with that.
I want that, and I think it is so important to have that space for kids, and no form of communication possible.
Exactly.
No talking. I don't even
Exactly.
want, like, Club Penguin level of communication. 'Cause you're there to play games and to fuck around. Remember Nick.com? Or whatever the fuck it was
Yeah,
called?
I feel like it's like, yes, it's not a bad thing to like have other players visible to you, but you shouldn't be able to talk to them.
Yeah.
And there was also like a lot of criticism around like some overlap that was like not encouraged and definitely not the standard for the cute core community, but there was some overlap with like ED Twitter and stuff. And especially because it was so highly focused on these like Japanese aesthetics, you know, it's just the way it is. Japanese clothing sizes are a lot smaller than Western clothing sizes.
Yeah.
Not erectile dysfunction, Kappa, eating disorder. The hell is ED Twitter? Oh, you sweet summer child.
2 to 3 strands hang over the front of both shoulders.
But yeah.
So, like this.
Like, what are
Please tell me they have
some
notes.
songs I could like note as like being part of the cute core aesthetic? Not necessarily of the original cute core music genre, but let's see. Rebsy, stuff from Rebsy, stuff from Yame, Caramel Danson, any song having to do with Hello Kitty. A lot of Kasane territory is used throughout it, which I think is a little funny. Anything having to do with Needy Streamer Overdose, Me.
Yes. Actually, it's occurring to me a lot of my playlist is that, isn't it?
Oh my god, you remember how, when I Has Cupquake used to do like songs and stuff?
Yes.
You remember her Yandere Sim song? Yeah, that one. A lot of Vocaloid music, but it would be like hard bass remixes of like, for example, Poppy Po, that's like overlaid on top of like a death scene from Higurashi. Like that's cute core. And like the death scene from Higurashi inexplicably has like this cute like pink lacy frame around the video with like pixel art of Miku dancing in the corner or something. That's cute core.
What?
So the song Crazy For You by Rebzy is cute core. I would not say that it is cute core, it's just associated with and enjoyed by a lot of people who fall under or appreciate the cute core aesthetic.
This is more of a niche one. Have you ever heard of Nekomata 97?
Sounds vaguely familiar. Hold on, let me open up my Spotify.
I already got the link. Inside chat.
By NanoRay?
Yeah.
I think this has come up in a few radios for me, but I don't seek it out.
Fucking bitch.
I'm gonna put some pictures in the side chat that are very cute core specific.
Finally got the leather for it. Surprise, bitch.
Oh, damn it, I should have been... You know what? I'm sharing my screen.
Fucking die. Bitch. That's what you get. Oh, why didn't I use this? This would have been... God dang it, I'm a dumbass. Time to get blasting.
Seven.
Nikki Cowboys at Ram Ranch.
God.
Yeah?
I don't even think about that. And then I was gonna continue your bit. I was like, that's the number I just fucking said! Time to eat my food. Ooh, what'd you get, Raven?
What you eating?
I have a doodle I made the other night as well. I will send you, Jace. It's not really like the aesthetic you were just talking about. I like it. Where did I save it? Did I save it?
I want to yap more. What should I yap about?
I'm trying to think of niche aesthetics. Why don't you talk about Okay, so you know that like it's not. It is technically Y2K because that's like the year it was coming out, but specifically that like Nickelodeon fashion where they had like a goofy amount of like layers. They had like 4 different layers of clothes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it's called, but I'm glad you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. How? Ooh. I'm trying to think like what. Because now all I'm thinking about is like instead of the fashion, I'm thinking about like the visual style that was big on Nickelodeon at the time
No,
of like Wacky Pomo.
I mean, I'd also be interested in that. I really like hearing like the reason why a lot of fashion and like visual aesthetic exists. Because to me, a lot of it is to, or I guess, I only know like surface level of what it looks like. So all I know is that they did that because it looked good at the time, whatever time that may be.
So I think you would really enjoy talking about Wacky Pomo, or which is short for Wacky Postmodern. Which is hi Monty. Hello. Oh my god, 103? Jesus Christ. And you got quote 69. Hey.
Oh, you're right. I would like this. The first image I see. Hold on. Let me copy the image and not the image link. Why are you weird?
I'm putting them inside chat.
Thank you.
Like mid 90s to early 2000s Nickelodeon. That's Wacky Pomo. That's Wacky Postmodern. That's like think like Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Beetlejuice, Ace Ventura, Gumby, the live action Cat in the Hat, Chicken Little. That's all Wacky Postmodern. It's a lot of it's a very Ooh, I don't know much about the history of it, but I can name things that are Wacky Postmodern. But it relies mostly on like cartoonish visuals associated with like 40s to 60s cartoons and some other aesthetics like Googie Kitsch, which is like like how do I describe Googie Kitsch? Like think like boomerang shaped tables and like weird like lighting fixtures that look like atoms and like very geometric designs, and like it feels like a weird blend of like 70s psychedelics with 50s what's the word? What's the word for that aesthetic? Atomic? No. What is that called? Okay, I'm gonna put an image inside chat. So like that, but made into like architecture and like interior design. That is Googie Kitsch. That is mostly popular in the 70s, but also led into the Wacky Pomo of the 90s and early 2000s. So it's kind of like a it mainly pulled from like older like American diners from like the 30s to 50s, built in the at the time streamlined modern style. But very heavily focused on blues and oranges and like pinks and reds, and like very geometric but like rounded shapes and like even more organic kind of wacky shapes. Like imagine like you looked at a lava lamp for so long during an acid trip that you decided to make your entire place feel like the shapes of a lava lamp. That's Googie Kitsch. That's a lot of what inspired Wacky Pomo. So it's abstract shapes and patterns and slime and space and science fiction and play centers and cartoonish technology and very exaggerated imagery and bright colors and animation and wacky fonts. So like, you know, early 2000s and late 90s Nickelodeon, Gushers. I would say very specifically 90s Cartoon Network because they really tightened ship in the early 2000s to that black and white aesthetic. But yeah. So like, you know, fucking Ren and Stimpy, Beetlejuice, Cow and Chicken,
A weird show.
Cow and Chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lazy Town. You can even say that Amazing Digital Circus and Smiling Friends fall under Wacky Pomo.
You know, Digital Circus, that makes a lot of sense. Smiling Friends, that also makes sense.
Now that you thought about it for a second longer.
Well, I think they both make. I think one is definitely a lot more than the other, but I think one is more on purpose than the other. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Three blue tally marks vertically don't go down or left.
What the fuck is that?
¿Qué es esto?
I wasn't there earlier. Eat buckshot, motherfucker.
You know what I could also talk about for a while?
Hmm.
I could talk about Fruitiger Arrow for a while.
Oh, please do.
What?
Fruitiger Arrow? Well, because there's three main Fruitiger aesthetics. There's Fruitiger Arrow, Fruitiger Metro, and Fruitiger Eco. Which Fruitiger Arrow is also known as like, what was it called? Web 2.0 Gloss, and was a design aesthetic that was prevalent from roughly 2005 to 2013 that took over after the death of like Y2K futurism and kind of overlapped with the Fruitiger Metro and recession pop aesthetics that evolved in like 2008-ish. So it was characterized by like glossy textures, bright cloudy skies, tropical water, tropical fish, bubbles, glass, lens flares, sprawling patterns, aeroglass, these Fruitiger fonts, abstract tech, bright, vibrant colors, typically being white, green, and blue. And the aesthetics timeline kind of coincides with the early days of Web 2.0 and the transition from like feature phones to smartphones. And the aesthetic wasn't really named at the time. The name Fruitiger Arrow came later on because its visual elements were most associated with very specific hardware and software elements depicted in like box art and promotional material like Windows Arrow or like iOS's skeuomorphic icons, which skeuomorphic means realistic design, but in a digital scape. Like how iPhone's original like YouTube app icon looked like an old TV. Or how the buttons looked like they were 3D textures that you had to physically move and slide. That's skeuomorphism. But the visuals of Mirror's Edge and like Spore are also like great things to think about for like the aesthetic of Fruitiger Arrow. But while some refer to the glossy elements as Web 2.0 gloss during its mainstream period, the term of Fruitiger Arrow itself just wasn't really represented by that, as Web 2.0 gloss kind of only described that specific aspect of Fruitiger Arrow as a whole rather than, you know, the full aesthetic. So the term Fruitiger Arrow encompasses a lot of subgenres and related aesthetics, like Fruitiger Metro, Techno Zen, Fruitiger Eco. There's a whole Fruitiger family I could talk about, but we're gonna talk about Arrow first. So the aesthetic itself was named after this guy, this Swiss designer guy named Adrian Fruitiger. That's literally where the name comes from. Who created a lot of the fonts that are commonly used within the aesthetic. These rounded, very friendly looking fonts that also were very rigid and technological at times. So the
What? Oh,
I believe he also had a hand in creating.
Jackie, thank you so much for the bits. For the 500 bits? Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Hello. What? Hi. I've never... Hi. Wait, pun. Teddy? Is that a pun?
Yo, what the hell
I was
is
just
that
saying-
username?
I don't know. I did I just say... Hi.
Yeah, Jackie Quantity? That's crazy.
I love the name. Hello. It's like Kennedy.
That's crazy.
Oh, I get it. Okay. Hello, welcome in. I'm drawing, well, my friend tells me about Fruitiger Arrow. My divas call
Yeah.
me Madam President. You have
That's
divas?
great.
That's great.
So, so Arrow is like doesn't really come from the, what people think with the AER with being like an aesthetic, like subroot word, or like from the like open air type, it's that like visual style of it, but like spelled weirdly. It's actually an acronym for like authentic, energetic, reflective, and open, and the term was actually not even coined until like 2017 for the Consumer Aesthetics Research Institute, and then gained a lot of recognition in the early to mid 2020s, leading to this newer, renewed interest in the aesthetic overall. So the primitive stages, you could say, for it were around 2000 to 2004. The earliest signs of it were in like Windows XP, and like the Mac OS around like 2002, and the like Bliss desktop background with like what you think of for like early 2000s default Windows background. Jackie, thank you for the 500 bits as well. Wow, thank you. Yay! Of like that green flowing grass field with those clear blue skies. That was such a fundamental base for it. You gotta go see y'all. Bro comes in, drops 500 bits a pop, doesn't even follow, and books it. Legend right there.
Have a good night or day.
Good night.
Wherever you are. Good luck. That's awesome.
But yeah, so that stuff, and like the like skeuomorphic design of like the, again, early 2000s Mac OS, and particularly from the early versions of like iMovie, where like, you know, it was like a video editing software on Mac, but it was made to look like a professional like producer and editor's setup of physical items and tools that would be seen in a studio. That's the skeuomorphism. And it was also like all of those things were like seen as precursors to Fruitiger Arrow, but have also been categorized as part of the Y2K futurism era. And it was also around that time that Microsoft began development of Vista, with elements of what was to become the Windows Arrow theme that they gradually added. So it's like the first known commercially available instance of like one of the very influential pieces of tech that gave rise to Fruitiger Arrow being the Apple Aqua UI from iMovie 2 was in 2000, but that was then not even released until like 2001. So then the decline of Y2K futurism in around 2004 began with the release of Windows XP and Windows Media Player 10, which had the design ideas found in Windows XP and Vista, particularly Vista. And then the 7th gen of video game consoles with like the DS, which was the first to kick off the generation while also having Y2K and Techno-Zen influences, but like also the PSP, the Apple's like iPod silhouette advertising campaign. You remember those iPod commercials where it was just people, like silhouettes of people dancing in front of brightly colored backgrounds, but like their earbuds and the iPods are still like perfectly like lit or highlighted? That is a key visual, particularly for Fruitiger Metro, but Fruitiger Arrow then became more common throughout like 2005, 2006 with the release of, again, Windows XP, and Windows Vista, or like the beta builds for Windows Vista, and the Xbox 360, the DS, the PS3, the Wii, all of their rounded, shiny plastic visuals in their UI. And the dawn of Fruitiger Arrow then overlapped with the last traces of Y2K futurism, resulting in this transitional period. And while there were between like late 2004 and mid 2006 the most quintessential media associated with Fruitiger Arrow, but they weren't released until like 2006 or 2007 or later. Like 6th gen consoles like the GBA and the PS2 and the Xbox continue to receive new games even into 2006, years after the 7th gen releases happened for consoles, which allowed for a time of, you could say, liminality, where everything felt transitionary. It was a waning off of one thing as the rise of another thing began. So its peak popularity was in around 2007, 2008 to like 2012. So with the release of Windows Vista for common users in 2007, the first iPhone, and the, at the time, newest Mac OS, Fruitiger Arrow was then fully established. So the nature-oriented designs of Arrow were seen as like humanizing tech and making it more accessible to a wider audience in comparison to the edgier sci-fi designs of Y2K futurism prevalent before. So during Fruitiger Arrow's prime, most advertising, media, stock imagery, and technology released during the time embody that aesthetic or were very heavily influenced by it. Like the hello?
Yeah, baby.
Hey.
Hi, bird.
There's the fucking bird.
I'm talking about the history of Fruitiger Arrow.
What?
I'm talking. Oh shit! My fucking CPU spiked. Oh gosh.
Oh dear.
I was saying I was
that's
talking
awkward.
about the history of Fruitiger Arrow.
That.
My fucking legs.
You don't know what those words mean, do you?
No.
Well, he just walked into the middle of class. He's late.
Here, I'll put some gifs inside chat.
A bird.
Yes.
You should get this game.
If you load the PC, it will be was
What?
Fucking early 2000s Microsoft.
Yeah. So like early to mid 2000s Microsoft and Apple aesthetics, but that became more widespread across marketing in general.
I fucking
So
know since I was like 5. What?
Bro is cutting out so bad.
Bird, where the fuck are you?
Hold on. Give me a second.
He's in the fourth dimension, boys. Nah, I feel like fourth.
He's decided to be very shitty. As I was saying, I haven't seen that fucking grassy knoll since like 2005.
You were like 3.
I was gonna.
You were like a year old
You're
in
a
2005.
baby, bro.
I'm not 2005. I meant 5 years old. Jesus Christ, my brain is shutting.
So
down.
like 09.
Yeah, 09.
That was like the peak popularity of the aesthetic. We were just talking about the 2007 to 2012 era.
What aesthetic?
The only thing I
Pretty good arrow.
remember from the fucking 2000s is like that type of style and the fucking housing crisis.
Yeah, because it was also very heavily influenced, like I said earlier, by what's it called? The other aesthetics that were big at the time of like Frutiger Metro and particularly recession pop in 2008. But
Man, this
again
is
with the
awful. I'm sorry. That was terrible.
I didn't even hear it, but anyway.
I think you should sit down and get ready for class. The teacher is talking.
So as Frutiger Arrow shared all these similarities with Y2K Futurism, it's considered to be its successor because it shares this bright, glossy, futuristic look, but is in a more refined, rounded, and corporate form. And also being concurrent with the Frutiger Metro and recession pop aesthetics, it overlaps with them in varying degrees, which leads to the various sub-aesthetics beginning to rise as the Frutiger family being increasingly broad in nature, which we'll talk about that next, but Arrow is the originator. So the decline of Frutiger Arrow came with the phasing out of these skeuomorphic looks for the more flat design look, like Windows 8 and 10 and the Xbox 360 dashboard in like the 2010s, and the Wii U could be argued as being like the last console that used Frutiger Arrow in full. But when the company switched to like flat Metro with like Microsoft and the Mac OS, where it was just these flat, square colored panels with white icons being their UI, that's more flat Metro.
What?
Hmm? Whoa, dog bark.
The confusion is high.
Let me put a picture inside chat. That's flat Metro. That's what was chosen instead of the previous aesthetics of Frutiger Arrow. Anyway, so then came post Arrow and flat design from like 2013 to now. It's succeeded by this like minimalist web tech aesthetic that's now known nowadays as like corporate Memphis, which I can put a picture of in the side chat, which is that like exaggerated proportions, simple shapes, obnoxious patterns, no faces, tiny heads art aesthetic that like YouTube and the like to use a lot. But there's still some areas where Frutiger Arrow is used today, particularly in like retail boxes for medical and cleaning products and school textbooks and like some TV channels to an extent. But now, Jesus fuck, Crow. You can't just appear silently in my room and make a noise akin to a fucking COD zombie.
Hi, Crow.
Chili says hi.
What do you mean?
Hi, Crow.
Akin to a cod.
Would you like to come closer to the mic and recreate the noise that you made across the room?
Yeah.
Wow.
Crow is one of my favorite, whatever their height is, creatures.
Crow's like 6 feet tall.
Crow is my favorite 6-foot creature.
Chili says you're his favorite 6-foot creature.
Oh.
Hi, Reaver. Welcome back.
Hi, Reaver.
Oh. More.
I don't
Ooh,
care.
hard light shield.
I don't care.
Ooh.
I know. I'm just saying at this point, I don't care that she tore shit up.
Is that boom cord?
I'll
Of
get it later.
course, game. What the
Where were we? Oh yeah, the revival of Fruitiker Arrow now with 2022 to now,
Yeah.
and it's what is related to it now as Neo Arrow. So in when the term Fruitiger Arrow itself was coined in like 2017 for the Consumer Aesthetics Research Institute, that brought a lot of attention on it because now we had a name to apply to these visuals rather than just like mid 2000s like corporate look. And since particularly late 2022, it made this big comeback on like, you know, nostalgic TikTok things. And arrow themed effects or filters being popularized on various apps. And with a similar resurgence to Y2K Futurism's revival, there's been this 20-year nostalgia cycle where like Fruitiger Arrow began triggering mass nostalgia for people around 18 years after its emergence. And in 2023, I want to say it was, the official Windows TikTok account posted a video part specifically about the Fruitiger Arrow aesthetic. And furthermore, some people believe that the Windows 11 UI is somewhat Fruitiger Arrow, or at least contains a successor aesthetic known as glassmorphism, as seen in its like promotional material. And on like Wikipedia, Fruitiger Arrow has its own entire article, completely differently in its own way, to reflect the view around nostalgia for its own original viewpoint of the of those early times as an art for the early modern era, which had become the subject of so many popular culture and anthology of human like research papers, as it was such a period of innovation and social change. Which has now given rise to Apple's like liquid glass aesthetic in its most recent hardware releases, which is like if you took Fruitiger Arrow and just drained the color and left all of the glass containers that the logos were left in. Good night, Cuckoo.
Good night, Cuckoo.
So again, Fruitiger Arrow is characterized by this optimistic and like clean, human-centric vision of technology, defined by like this skeuomorphism, where these digital elements are made to resemble their real-world counterparts, and these glossy textures and motifs that are drawn from nature, and particularly like water. So it's these glassy, transparent surfaces. Hold on, I got something on my arm. Anyway, it's these glassy and like transparent surfaces that are meant to like mimic glass and water. So like, you know, Windows 7, Windows Vista, that have these like translucent window borders and like shiny, almost three-dimensional icons that look like if you were to touch them that they'd be smooth plastic. And buttons and other UI elements using like linear gradients and highlights to create this like tactile, realistic feel, in stark contrast to the flat designs that would later dominate in the 2010s. So, the thing with Fruitiger Arrow is that, much like the aesthetics that we talked about earlier with Cute Gore, it's that Fruitiger Arrow juxtaposes futuristic technology with this idealized imagery of nature, with these lush green fields under clear blue skies and water droplets and bubbles and fish swimming in crystal clear water, and it's this blend of the natural and the artificial that's given the aesthetic its key motif of utopian vision of this like clean, eco-friendly future where technology exists in perfect harmony with environment. And as the aesthetic also has a strong humanist element, incorporating these abstract human silhouettes and soft, out of focus light patterns, and this recurring symbol of the globe, used to represent this increasing global connectivity of the internet during the Web 2.0 era, which would evoke these feelings of optimism and clarity and ease to make the technology seem more user friendly. Hi, Marilyn.
Hi, Marilyn.
I cannot guarantee how long I will stay, but everybody else who was in my server disappeared, so I'm over here to vibe.
Hi. Hi.
Oh, you know what? I should share my art while I'm drawing it. I'm drawing a gesture. And Jace is talking about Vertigo
I'm
Arrow.
gonna go to bed.
Okay, good night, Maya.
Bye-bye.
Mwah.
I have
Mamaj.
Scaramouche on screen. I don't know if we
Okay,
will
so
know
then from Frutiger Arrow, we got the whole Frutiger family, this Frutiger umbrella. So many fucking Frutigers. Yeah.
Hi, Path.
Hi.
Hi, Momo.
So we could encompass the entirety of this like Frutiger time period with like the mid 2000s to the early 2010s, so like 2005 to like 2013. And Frutiger Arrow and its related aesthetics and subgenres were encompassed and dominating advertising, stock imagery, technology, web design, branding, and media during the time because it was so mainstream. Hi, Crow. Oh, okay. Okay.
Bird.
Okay. Anyway, so as Frutiger Arrow itself is increasingly broad in its definitions, it's led the internet to assigning subgenres for Frutiger Arrow as the term was only coined in, again, 2017. So it was coined as this catch-all for these shared visual elements that were dominating like every aspect of media and marketing at the time. But over time, you know, internet people like categorizing things, so we've created sub aesthetics for it. So instead of just like looking up like Frutiger Arrow, but like orange Frutiger Arrow or like black Frutiger Arrow, that gives us like Dark Arrow and Dorfic and Frutiger Metro and Vector Flourish and Non-Arrow. So that can be broken down into like this abstract tech aesthetic into clean core. People don't really think that clean core is a Frutiger Metro child, but it is. It is a Frutiger Arrow child. It was derived from Frutiger Arrow. But then also like the like four colors thing that was really heavily inspired and derived from, again, those early iPod advertisements I told you about before, with like the four square colors of like bright, like, you know, orange and blue and pink and green with like the black silhouettes of the people dancing with the white highlighted iPods. But then there's also Frutiger Eco and Frutiger Metro, and with these like very high what's the word? Like very high in content aesthetics of the Frutiger family. Then there was like the Japanese counterpart of the time, which was Techno Zen, which was very cold and sterile and professional looking, but at the same time like cozy and friendly and cute. It was like plain white technologies that were very square and professional looking in nature, but they also had like cute fridge magnets with like, you know, family photos on them and like stickers and like cozy little mugs and stuff. So where Technozen is largely evocative of Japanese design, Fruitiger Arrow has influences from United States, Korea, Japan, and elsewhere. Technozen is like the strictly Japanese cousin to Fruitiger Arrow. So Technozen was also popular in the realm of like music. So like think like the Wii main menu music. That's very Technozen. Meanwhile, it's like visual design, and particularly like the more fun songs, like in the Wii Sports games, those are more Fruitiger Metro. So where Technozen is more like technology, yes, but also nature and minimalism. Particularly minimalism is what separates Technozen from Fruitiger. Very Asian and Scandinavian interior design, but its key colors are like white, very matte silvers, light blues, light greens, and sometimes very small splashes of black. Meanwhile, Fruitiger Arrow's key color motifs are like blue and green and white and very tertiary colors, like a few oranges here and there, or like Fruitiger Eco, which was very heavy on the green and teal, and like some very light aspects of white and blue and yellow. And then Fruitiger Metro, which was so many colors and flower patterns and abstract vector shapes and like no hand-drawn elements and gradient blocks, and human silhouettes and like butterflies and musical instruments and speakers and DJ mixers and headphones. That's Fruitiger Metro. But then Technozen is like where the Fruitiger aesthetics were the media and marketing. Technozen was the physical, like around you in your home aesthetic of the time. So that's like how could I explain it better? The Zen in Technozen is due to its association in the West with minimalist Asian aesthetics and its philosophy of simplicity. And it is very secular and unrelated to the Japanese meaning of Zen, which pertains to a sect of Buddhism. But Techno-Zen philosophy is centered around the harmonizing of technology and nature. It's a rejection of the fast-paced modern tech culture, favoring a more laid-back lifestyle, like a small CRT TV in your kitchen to watch something while you cook, in your very plain minimalist house, but you still have like potted plants here and there. And it's again, it's based on the belief that technology should improve life, but not totally dominate it. It's minimalistic, but not to an absurd degree. It's not based on asceticism or like extreme frugality, but rather on simplicity and beauty, a focus on health and well-being. Small, boxy technology on the idea of doing more with less space, as opposed to doing less with more space, as what people assume when they think of minimalist things. But it's like, no, it's just you got less space. Do with it what you can. And it utilizes both form and function on objects as a key motif, based on the idea that devices should be easily repaired, and promotes rejection of planned obsolescence. It can be seen as a rejection of modern like big tech monopolies and algorithms and internet overuse. Technozen is like a helpful, user-friendly, but self-contained gadgets that like give power to the user rather than having power over the user. Like, you know, shitty little CRT TVs and portable DVD players and MP3 players and like very like not heavy on its functions but still a smartphone, flip phones. That's Technozen. And it's reminiscent of like green technology, like solar punk, but more politically neutral. And unlike solar punk, which I could get into a lot, Technozen isn't inherently anti-capitalist like solar punk is, but is more open to people of various political leanings, provided that they care about the environment. That is a key thing for Technozen. And Technozen is inherently an interior decor type aesthetic, intended for bright, well-lit areas with lots of diffused white light and very few prominent shadows. Very minimalist white and like light wood tones, with the rest of its palette range often serving as accent. So white plastics or paints used in Technozen can be matte or glossy or a combination, but like wood is very typically unstained, untreated light wood with a very de-emphasized and unprominent wood grain. Things just kind of fit together. Bamboo is can be used, but is very rare to see distinctly bamboo shapes. But regardless of the material used, furniture is usually in artificial looking and mass producible shapes. And unlike normal minimalism, rooms in Technozen aesthetic are made to be functional, often including like storage and accessorized with bright or cute things, houseplants, and small electronics fitting with its philosophical leanings. So like think like IKEA. Think like IKEA showrooms. And how it's like this looks cozy, but it also looks artificial and not lived in. Or like think like Marie Kondo, very Asian-inspired minimalism while hanging on to things that spark joy. So I'm gonna put an image in side chat, a few images, because I really think Technozen is cool. I'd be more into Technozen if people didn't make it weird, but unfortunately people make it weird.
How so? What do you mean make it weird?
Oh, because like people like turn it into this like everything has to be white and pure and clean and bright. And it's like no. It's just functionality over form.
Done.
But then there's also like, okay, from Technozen we could then talk about cleancore. Oh, I love talking about cleancore. I love me some cleancore. Let me cast out. I haven't casted out in a bit. I've just been talking. I've just been yapping. So, cleancore is centered around, obviously, cleanliness and clean objects and environments, like antibacterial soaps and UV lights and recently disinfected spaces that incorporates visuals associated with hygiene and draws inspiration from Fruitiger Arrow aesthetics. It is also known as like safety core or hygienic core. And its origin can be traced back to a very specific Tumblr blog called Safety Corp from like 2014. And it can be divided into high clean core and low clean core. I've been watching an anime that transitions so well between 2D and 3D. I've heard of a few of those. So clean core can be very... Okay, so high clean core is a more mature approach that's like Clorox and Febreze and Purell, ASMR soap cutting videos, and latex gloves and carpet cleaners. Very key colors like pale blues and whites and greens, focusing on sterile emotions evoked by items like, you know, deodorant and humidifiers and hand soap. It can overlap at times with like more medical sterile aesthetics. That will feature like fashion elements like surgical masks, rubber gloves, hazmat suits. But high clean core's visuals embrace capitalistic imagery with a cynical manner. Meanwhile, low clean core is a more like friendly, open, younger kind of energy. Rubber duckies and bath sponges and Johnson's baby products and bright color palettes that are described as like a kid core twist on high clean core. Thank you for the wings, Crow, and the 7-stream streak. And that's like visuals like bath toys and baby shower caps and like powder poofs and like globs of soap. And while clean core is often utilizing capitalist imagery while simultaneously addressing anxieties relatedness to cleanliness and hygiene, it became very prominent during the pandemic, although the aesthetic itself predates it by a good few years. And it's frequently expressed online through edits and like stim boards on platforms like TikTok and Tumblr, which are intended to evoke a sense of calm and mental clarity. And cleancore artworks often feature like PNGs of cleaning supplies and bathtubs and blue skies, aiming to be this like clear, fresh, and sterile aesthetic, while also remaining its sense of surrealism. So artists in the cleancore space kind of create these like dreamy, flawless, sanitary settings with very bright and cool colors, incorporating household cleaning products and pools and baths and tile flooring. And it was also created at the time of like early to mid 2010s Tumblr, where every new aesthetic that came out was put under a goth subtitle. So like, cleancore, or as I mentioned was safety core, was also known at the time as safety goth. And was conceived as a response to emerging subcultures within the net art community as a means to analyze societal shifts following 9/11 and the internet's evolution, exploring questions about who deserves protection, how systems create false safety, how certain groups are neglected. And the particular blog on Tumblr known as, again, Safety Corp, would always do this little sign off of "stay safe" at the end of all of their posts as like this forewarning and a call for vigilance. And the aesthetic and its related terms like safety core, clean core, antibacterial gained a lot of traction on Tumblr. And the work that included discussions on viruses and capitalism and hygiene and community through isolation have been present since as early as 2014, anticipating themes that became prominent during the COVID pandemic. And during the pandemic, the concept of safety and personal protective equipment became so widespread in a way that it had never been before. While the pandemic brought increased attention to cleanliness, the defining ideas and aesthetics and characteristics of cleancore existed prior to 2020. And particularly high cleancore critiques the cynical capitalism that emerged from the pandemic, where cleanliness became tied to new, sterile, privately owned concepts rather than a communal traditional hygiene. Streamer from me opening Twitch on accident, but I'll say I joined during something I want to listen to this. I'm talking about cleancore. Hello, inverted scug. Nice username. So again, high cleancore is one of the two main sub-aesthetics of cleancore. Unlike low cleancore, it emphasizes actual cleaning, antibacterial imagery, rather than a sense of childhood nostalgia. So where high cleancore draws inspiration from the cleaning commercials that gained prominence around the time span of Fruitiger Arrow, it shares visual styles due to their common use in commercials and marketing during the mid to late 2000s, giving it its status as a subcategory or sub-aesthetic or even just child of the Fruitiger family. And high cleancore itself is characterized by very sterile feelings, heavily featuring imagery of soap, water, deodorant, detergents, and hand sanitizers, and a lot of overlap with medical core, creating this cold, sterile atmosphere, sharing color palettes with very icy, not like cold, not at all like welcoming color palettes. And while similar to Fruitiger Arrow in its sterile feel and imagery of like these glassy, glossy aesthetics with high highlights, high cleancore focuses more so on promoting cleanliness and hygiene rather than the aquatic and oceanic themes that are present in Fruitiger Arrow. So, like most, Tumblr-derived aesthetics, there is also a fashion area that includes items worn while cleaning or in clean environments, like surgical or gas masks, rubber gloves, safety goggles, hospital gowns, scrubs, reflective vests, like those weird little like tissue shoe things that you put on over your shoes. And then low cleancore is more about themes related to like childhood bath time, sharing similarities with like kidcore and babycore. So low cleancore visuals are designed to evoke this atmosphere of like the fun that you had as a kid during bath time, featuring not only the key visuals of like soaps and detergents, but also like rubber ducks and fun bath toys and little like fun bath baskets and safe substances that add vibrant colors to the bath water. And where again there is this fashion element to high clean core, there is one as well for low clean core. And instead of being cleaning gear, it typically consists of like kid core, like bathrobes and what's it called? And like fun towels and pajamas and stuff. So where high clean core is again like hand sanitizer visuals and like those specific air fresheners that are like just a container of like very heavily perfumed Orbeez. That's very high clean core.
Yeah.
Or like, bottles of Fiji water. That's very high clean core. But like low clean core is again like cute bathrobes and like fun like shaped like hand soap pumps and rubber duckies and cute shaped sponges. That's low clean core. And again, it's the glossy, watery, backlit, high highlight visuals that directly relate it to Frutiger Arrow, especially because the aesthetic itself began in the decline of Frutiger Arrow in around 2013. I got something itchy here. Ugh. Ooh, itchy.
I'm going to go pass out, unfortunately. I have enjoyed your rant, but also my pillow is done in the dryer and it is almost 2 a.m.
Oh my goodness, okay.
My second to last class is tomorrow.
Let's go.
Oh my god.
Yay, and I don't have to work tomorrow.
Yippee!
I get done at noon, and I don't have anything else to do for the rest of the day.
Fuck yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not the case on Friday. On Friday, I have to work, but I'm not doing anything all weekend! Except for maybe studying, but I'm not doing anything all weekend! And I only have one exam on Monday, and it's not until 6:30. So clearly, the solution is just study on the day of the exam, right?
Oh my gosh.
I'm kidding. I will probably open a textbook at least a little bit.
Good.
I am going to go lay down because I still have to put my bed together because I washed all my bed sheets today.
Fair enough. Rest well.
Thanks.
Okay. Oh, I can move on to Neo Arrow. I could move on to the revitalization and revival of the early 2020s to Frutiger Arrow. Also, myself needs sleep, so I vibe with you. So take my money. Oh my gosh, more fucking bits. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Good night, Ska. Rest well.
What's happening?
Oh, somebody in my chat's going to bed.
No.
Okay, so Neo Arrow, also known as Neo Frutiger Arrow or the Frutiger Arrow Revival, is more of a contemporary digital aesthetic that romanticizes and deliberately exaggerates the visual language of the original Frutiger Arrow design trend from, again, the mid-2000s to the early 2010s. That's very nostalgia-driven as a movement and gained major social media traction in around 2022-ish, seeking to kind of recapture the original style's mood of technological optimism and environmental consciousness and polished digital clarity. But unlike the original design, which was initially associated with corporate and UI design, like, again, Windows Vista and the early Apple products, Neo Arrow is squarely an internet aesthetic applied to digital art and album covers and meme culture, and its proliferation is often cited as an example of the 20-year nostalgia cycle, as the aesthetic began triggering mass nostalgia about 18 years after its original emergence. So, the aesthetic is actively disseminated through art communities on Reddit and TikTok, where the tag of Frutiger Arrow has been used over 30 million times in the revival's early phase, and the style then has moved into commercial branding and even media promotion. So prominent creators like Curtis Connor have adopted the aesthetic using these hyper-realistic 3D green hills and exaggerated floating bubbles and windows-like skies as a consistent backdrop for merchandising and tour posters. Or also the style appearing in current marketing, like the graphic interface of the Coca-Cola freestyle machines that display these rounded, glossy buttons and blue sky and green hills backdrops. Or like on the on some modern product packaging, applying the original era's aesthetic of this environmental friendliness and polished innovation to items like scented candles or like perfumes. And the revival is seen more as a contemporary way to express an optimistic view of technology and the environment, contrasting with current internet culture. So Neo-Aero amplifies only the most recognizable elements of its predecessor, pushing them towards these hyper-realistic and surreal digital maximalisms, evoking these feelings of interacting with highly advanced but comforting and environmentally devastating technology, relying on these exaggerated motifs of skeuomorphism, featuring surfaces that resemble wet glass and clear liquid and polished chrome, populated with like these floating reflective bubbles and big smooth translucent spheres that suggest this sense of purity mixed with high-tech utility. And water is such a key element, shown rippling or as clear liquid or sparkling with this kind of digital fidelity to it. And the color palette centers on bright, natural colors with a very heavy application of white digital glow. So brilliant saturated blue skies are ubiquitous, complemented by white wispy clouds and deep turquoise water or glass-like textures. And very saturated green grass is used for these manicured, unrealistic-looking hills and fields, depicting natural sunny environments that have been digitally perfected, endless green mountains and serene bodies of water that are just not found in real life. Then the lighting itself is characterized by these extreme lens flares and bright sunbeams that give these compositions a very washed out, heavenly, and hyper clean appearance. So where the philosophical value of original Fruitiger Arrow, it was a genuine optimism that intended to make operating systems look intuitive and friendly. Neo-Aero is a more retrospective optimism. The value is longing for a lost era, and the visual style is used for meme culture and ironic commentary. The original visual formula focused on interfaces using skeuomorphism and subtle lens flare, but Neo-Aero's visual formula is hyper-maximalism, digital art, surreal landscapes, exaggerated lens flares, floating spheres applied to non-UI media. Original Fruitiger Arrow began in the graphic design industry, created by Apple, Microsoft, and other corporate graphic designers. But Neo-Aero has been created by like TikTok and Reddit communities and applied to YouTubers. And original Fruitiger Arrow's conclusion was that the aesthetic was a functional product of its time, but Neo-Aero is an aesthetic characterized by nostalgia and digital art. And we're going into an ad break, so I'm going to take a little sippy louder. So y'all remember also that like weird period of time around the mid 2000s of these like a flatter version of Fruitiger Arrow with like very minimalist geometric imagery that was all very orange. Like they had this obsession with like white and orange. Like y'all remember Hexbugs?
Hexbugs? What?
Y'all remember the original like Hexbug?
I remember Hexbugs. I wanted so many, or I really wanted at least one. Sorry, I just completely forgot those existed until you said them.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I remember the commercials for them. Holy
With those very like white and orange, like abstract shapes, but also very geometric patterns to represent the technology of the hex bugs themselves.
Yeah.
That was such a design chokehold of the time.
What, like orange and
Like
white?
these daylight orange and red futuristic graphics that were like this industrial subset of the Frutiger era design movement of the mid 2010s. It's these orange, yellow, and white primary colors with very minimal red and blue accents that were kind of successor to like retrofuturism and atom punk of the 60s, which I love atom punk. I'm going to talk about atom punk next now that I'm thinking about it.
I'm unfamiliar with that one.
And the rise of mobile technology and some street art designs that were popular in the late 90s. This aesthetic was this gained this prominence in the mid to late 2000s and was used mostly in like video games and corporate design. But it lasted until about the mid 2010s, with like 2015, 2016 being the last times that it saw any significant usage. It was very industrial, very highly minimalist, like these stark white cityscapes accented with bright oranges and grays. Think like, you ever played Mirror's Edge? You ever played Mirror's Edge, or at least watched media of it?
I watched that Snake guy. I talked about play it. He's super
That
into it.
that whole visual style of Mirror's Edge is very Dwarfic. That's what this whole aesthetic is called, is Dwarfic. So it's borders on like monochromatic things, and particularly in clothing, including these tech wear mixed with like business casual in an effort to look like sharp, clean, but also casual. And in some imagery, black will take place of the white backgrounds, creating this dark alternate version of the aesthetic that tends to lean more into cyberpunk and dark era rather than Frutiger era, like how the lighter imagery of Dwarfic does. The game is so pretty with the gray and red. Agreed. Jace, you know so much I can see you being an amazing teacher. I'm a good lecturer, not a good teacher. There's difference there.
You're very good at it either way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So think like again like Mirror's Edge and like Super Hot and like the early eras of Rocket League. That's very Dwarfic. Or like you remember when like Overwatch first came out and like everything was like Tracer in her bright orange with her futuristic weapons on that white background? That's very Dwarfic. Or like Vector from Despicable Me, or Rin and Len, the Vocaloids, those are all very Dwarfic designs as well. Ooh, got a fish.
Bless you.
You know what else is really Dwarfic? Fucking B-movie.
Yeah. Oh, especially like in like the Hive.
Yes.
The ex-boyfriend was in the fucking right. No one can tell me otherwise. That man got played by a bee.
What is he got cucked by a bee? But like, what is the you referenced a meme the other day that was a fanfic not made by AI. I know that it's in broken English. I like it that way. You, could I request you do that?
I prefer man-made, non-professionally written, shitty smut fanfiction made by man. I know English isn't the author's first language. I like it. But then, ooh, Atom Punk. Ooh, I love Atom Punk.
was gonna make a dad joke, but I'm gonna refrain myself from doing that. I'm gonna be a better man.
Jeez,
Go
look
ahead.
inside chat. Look at the progress on Bernadette.
That is coming out so good. What the fuck? I look a little war criminal thing on the left.
Apparently she is.
I love the like, dude, the way that specific thing is drawn looks like it could be like the overworld sprite for like a specifically like one of those like, you remember how like Mario RPG was with its like top down chibi view of the character models in this like what's the word? Not lenticular. What's the word?
And it also said that it looked like the little icon in the top. It made it look like she was like a game character. Like
Yeah,
you would be,
yeah,
like
yeah,
swapping
yeah.
through the thing, like in like Smash Bros or whatever. I think
Fuck.
of other games that do it, where they like have like the full Muse Dash. Muse Dash does that. Oh my god, they have like the full body
Yeah.
art that they show you, but they don't have the little sprite on the side, which looks really cute.
Isometric. There it is.
Asymmetrical. I really like
Isometric.
that she has a star eye patch when she's wearing her jester's suit. I think that's really cute. It's because her
Heck
other
yeah.
eye has like a red sclera because of reasons.
Edgelord reasons.
I don't want to derail too hard. I was just happy with how it was coming out. Continue.
That's fair. But like isometric, like this.
Oh, like the. You do mean specifically how they're showing the thing.
Yes.
Just little guy.
Like, we'll just plonk that little chibi down into any of those environments, and she would just fit right in.
That would be so cute. You know, okay, hold on. I'm gonna message Panda. You can go back to your thing.
Okay. So, Atom Punk is derived from the atomic age of the 40s to the 60s in retrofuturistic design movements, prominent from the end of World War II until the late 60s. Defined by its influence from atomic science and the burgeoning space age, unfolding concurrently during the Cold War, and it manifested across architecture and industrial design, fashion, graphic design, marketing. It was this very distinct visual style of scientific motifs with futuristic shapes that represent the era's dual sense of technological optimism and nuclear anxiety. It's these very atomic molecular models, starbursts and boomerangs and amoeba shapes and parabolas and satellites and rockets with vibrant pastels and red and blue primary colors with white, black, and metallic accents, focusing on like futurism and optimism and scientific progress, but also technological anxiety and modernity. So the atomic age itself began after boom, atomic bomb in the 40s. This new immense power created this cultural paradox. On one hand, it promised a utopian future of limitless clean energy and scientific solutions to the world problems. But on the other, the existential threat of nuclear annihilation. And the atomic age itself was this design that was a direct response to that duality. And by incorporating the visual style of nuclear science into everyday life, from the patterns on a dinner plate to the shape of a building, these designers helped to domesticate a concept that was both fascinating and terrifying. And the aesthetic was overwhelmingly optimistic, using playful shapes and bright colors to frame the atomic future as hopeful and exciting, a form of retrofuturism that expressed both a faith in progress and an attempt to make an uncertain future feel more comfortable and familiar. And the atomic age, hold up, bird left. And the atomic age aesthetic manifested again across all these different areas of design. In architecture, its most flamboyant expression was the Googie style, which I mentioned earlier, that was defined mostly on commercial buildings like diners and motels with upswept roofs and bold geometric shapes and use of neon. But in future and industrial, not future, furniture and industrial design, figures like like Charles and Ray Eames used like materials that were insanely new at the time, like fiberglass and plastic, to create iconic pieces with these biomorphic curves and atomic legs. And by the 60s, the aesthetics influence culminated in space age fashion, where designers like Pierre Cardin and Paco Rabanne used synthetic materials like vinyl to create futuristic geometric silhouettes expressed in the Moon Girl look with its like white go-go boots and very figure-hiding triangular dresses. And the visuals of the aesthetic used a lot of recurring motifs drawn from, again, science and space exploration. Its most literal expression was the use of atomic and molecular patterns, with ball and stick models of atoms appearing on textiles and wallpaper and decor, like the iconic at the time Sputnik chandelier. And the scientific influence extended all the way into abstract biomorphic shapes resembling amoebas and kidneys, common in furniture and architectural details. And as the space race began, celestial motifs became popular, with these starbursts and boomerangs and rocket ships appearing ubiquitously on everything from wall clocks to building facades. And the color palette was bright, using vibrant pastels like turquoises and pinks, contrasted with whites, blacks, and futuristic metallic finishes. Ugh, sorry.
At the sniffles.
Yeah. When I talk a lot, I just
Yeah.
get like really congested. I don't know why.
My nose connected to your mouth in a weird way.
Maybe. Wouldn't be surprised.
I wonder how much water is turkey now.
In your what?
My water filter. I kind of want to go and get some more water.
That's fair.
On the one hand, I could do that, but on the other hand, I don't know how much water I can actually drink in it right now.
Fair enough.
I should learn how long it actually takes one of these days. Anyway, I'm gonna go check that. I'll be back.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for Chili to get back, because when Chili gets back, I want to talk about Scene Core. Fish ain't biting today. You got something on my lip? No. You're just saying. Damn, it's already 2 a.m. Well, I did start late, so that shouldn't be too surprising. I've been going for like 5 hours. Also shouldn't be too surprising. Oh well. Oh, there goes my... Why is
We
that?
did.
Hi there.
I know.
Hello.
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 I decided while you were gone that I wanted to talk about Scene Core when you got back.
Yes. Oh, you love me.
Okay, so buckle up. Scene Core itself can be broken down as, in its most TLDR form, an internet aesthetic and musical offshoot of hyperpop that originated in around 2020 with functioning as a Gen Z reinterpretation of the early 2010s to mid-2000s scene subculture, filtering its predecessor style through a lens of internet-fueled nostalgia. And unlike the original scene subculture, which focused heavily on glamour and vanity and hairspray-heavy androgyny, scene core in the 2020s is defined by its exaggerated and brightly colored visual aesthetic that merges original scene motifs with other contemporary online styles that emerged from alt TikTok and meme culture. So the aesthetic itself draws very heavily from the accessory-focused maximalist aesthetic of the candy raver scene, which is often mistaken for scene, and the early 2000s glitter graphics of like blingies, and is deeply indebted to its 2000s counterpart. Scene core is its distinct movement from its predecessor, defined by its own unique sound, rooted in hyperpop and an aesthetic philosophy centering on rejecting cringe culture. So the scene core aesthetic itself is a modern, more colorful and bright take on scene fashion, blended with contemporary visual styles like 2020 alt, e-girl, glitch core, and anime core, rooted in 2000s and early 2010s internet culture, featuring, again, those glitter graphics, pick mix, bright rainbows, multicolored checkerboard patterns, and while some characters like Gur and Hello Kitty are shared with the original scene subculture, figures like Hatsune Miku and characters from My Little Pony and Monster High are more uniquely associated with scene core. In terms of retail, while Hot Topic remains relevant, Spencer's has become a more preferred store for scene core fashion. So the general tenet of the scene core movement is a rejection of cringe culture. Peaking in the 2010s involves the widespread mocking of people's hobbies and self-expression online, and many Gen Z adherents of scene core grew up during this period and viewed the aesthetic as a way to kind of reclaim interests and styles that were once deemed cringy, like furries and bronies and alternative fashion. And the phrase cringe culture is dead is a very core belief within the community, promoting unapologetic self-expression. And the scene core sound in terms of music is not homogenous, but it's often classified as a subgenre of hyperpop, incorporating some elements of the original scene subculture's music with nightcore, characterized by pitched up vocals and distorted synths and melodies that evoke a sense of nostalgia, but often utilize samples from video games and anime that are more recent. And lyrical themes are frequently edgier than those of traditional scene bands, exploring topics like mental health and drug use and gore and violence. And the genre's early development was influenced by artists like Revzy and Kid Trash and Heart Crush, and particularly Heart Crush's song On the Floor from 2020 is considered a very formative track for scene core's overall sound. And while other notable songs include, like, Blood, Blood, Blood by Zasanity and Sacrifice, also by Heart Crush, the genre evolved a lot since its inception, even those short 5 years ago, with a lot of the artists in 2023-ish beginning to sample 2000s pop and Eurodance music in their tracks, frequently overlapping with other micro-genres like Crush Club and Sigilcore. So again, there's like Barely Human, Rebzy, Suicidal Idol, Vampix, Fentanyl, South the Dog, Male Pup. That's all very scene core. Yeah?
What?
Okay, so also, we're gonna get into scene core's controversies and criticism. One of the main points is its relationship with scene, as the emergence of scene core caused a very significant conflict within the members of the original scene culture, who were predominantly millennials participating in the style from 2005 to 2014. And that critique stems from the belief that scene core misunderstands and commodifies the original subculture identity, leading to this intense hostility from participants of the original scene. Do you mean to open up your Gatorade bottle, honey?
Yeah. I tried, and then my hand got wrong.
There you go, hon.
Oof.
So the primary distinction between scene original and scene core is that scene was a full subculture defining itself by dress codes and music genres and real-world gatherings and community behavior, but scene core in its modern form is a nostalgia-based aesthetic phenomenon, drawing heavily from modern digital culture. So, at its foundation, scene in the original scene was very fashion based. You had to dress the part to be considered scene, and the music was secondary to the uniform. But scene core, in its modern sense, is a nostalgia based aesthetic. It emerged from the Y2K aesthetic revivals on TikTok around 2020, and it's explicitly nostalgia for the 2000s to 2010s. The visual focus of original scene prioritized glamour and vanity and androgyny and defined itself with heavily hairsprayed, choppy layered hairstyles and raccoon smoky eyes paired with neons. But the visual focus of scene core is decor influences, maximalist flings, picnics, webcore visuals, and it lacks the single defining hairstyle that original scene had, and a lot of scene core people who also incorporate it into their visual style in terms of fashion will be sporting wolf cuts or just very fluffy, messy hair in general. The original scene ethos was defined by rejecting mainstream social groups and often criticized for bigotry toward those who didn't conform, which led to the poser label. But the scene core ethos, defined by rejection of cringe culture, led to the embracing of furry, alterhuman, and queer identities that weren't as embraced in the original scene movement, and it seeks to be anti-judgmental and unapologetically self-expressive. The music culture of original scene focused on genres that were structurally different from mainstream music, like crunkcore and electropop and electronic core. But scene core, in its modern form, focuses on contemporary, commercially structured digital genres like Crush Club and hyperpop and high-velocity EDM. But in terms of critique of scene core, TikTok's nostalgic discussions of the original scene subculture have given undue weight to viral memes that coexisted in the same era, like Nyan Cat and Caramel Dancing, and a lot of people consider this to be a form of sanitization that ignores the original subculture's problematic lifestyle and controversial music, reducing this complex subculture to an easily consumable, low-friction pop culture artifacts that weren't exclusive to scene kids. The aesthetic is designed to be easily accessible to non-scene kids, prioritizing broad commercial appeal over historical accuracy. The conflict between the two groups centers mainly on a perceived commodification of the original identity. Original scene participants often view scene core participants as posers because they copy the fashion with the neon and the merch and the stripes, but lack the true understanding of the subculture's history or music. Scene members resent the confusion, as scene core's visibility on TikTok often causes outsiders to label all scene culture as scene core. On the other hand, scene core participants view the original scene kids as hypocritical and gatekeeping due to their history of being labeled posers themselves. The older generation's frequent mockery of scene core trends, like typing quirks and phantom hyperfixations and stuff, is seen as a continuation of the same toxic behaviors that the original subculture suffered from. Scene core music itself has also been plagued by controversies surrounding the severe actions and lyrical content of its artists. Allegations against artists have included horrible things like financial scams and grooming and racism and like white supremacism, and the behavior is criticized for directly contradicting the inclusive values of the original scene and rave subcultures that the aesthetic draws inspiration from. And a significant body of the music, notably from artists like Suicidal Idol, Boy Fantasy, and Rebzy, have been criticized a lot for containing very graphic, repetitive themes that actively trivialize severe psychological issues and criminal acts, like Suicidal Idol frequently romanticizes and glorifies SA and sadomasochistic violence, like in the song Ecstasy, and lines objectifying women through degradation, framing abuse as a form of desired passion, or songs that routinely include graphic references to cutting and self-mutilation and suicide, using these crises as aesthetic props for emotional resonance. And the music itself often relies on very highly specific imagery of drug use, and death to maximize shock value, leading to concerns that the aesthetic itself is exploiting and normalizing genuine trauma for commercial gain. And the fact that these songs often become popular in TikTok audios is a significant concern, which risks exposing children to these potentially triggering contents. But moving on from that, there are some specific characters I would like to talk about that are so heavily incorporated into scene core aesthetic today that I think is really cool. So yes, we have the Gur and the Hello Kitty from the original run of the scene subculture present in the mid 2000s. But now we have additions of like other Sanrio characters like My Melody and Kuromi, or Rainbow Dash from My Little Pony, and Draculaura and Hatsune Miku, and a big one, boom boom boom, Ibuki Miyoda. Everybody loves her. We got Gloomy Bear and Neon Cat and Roblox Noob and fucking Infected from Regretivator. That's all very scene core.
Yes.
Just bright, cluttered visuals that just emphasize, like,
Delicious. Yum 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 yum.
self-expression to its highest extent.
Straight under the light.
You keep sending me a lot of stuff on Pinterest. Do you just want to like log off and just hang out offline?
No, I mean, I don't mind either way. I'm chilling.
Okay. I kind of want to play Skate, so I think I'm gonna raid out.
Okay.
What you giggling at over there?
Nothing. Not a thing.
Is it because I want to play Skate?
Mm-mm. Not in the slightest.
Okay. Who do we got online? Oh, Nico's live.
Woo.
Nico's live playing Final Fantasy and has no viewers. Oh, goodness. Oh, because he's been live for less than a minute. You know what? I think that'd be really funny to raid him right now. Yeah. Raid Gato Kaiser. Hey, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Alright, I'm ready to raid out whenever.
Where is that himbo? There he is.
Are you gonna be raiding Oni?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Alright. I'm ready.
I raided out to Nico.
Nice. There's only... Oh no, there's 2 viewers.